Good morning. Happy Pride. Yay! My name is Christopher Oldie. My pronouns are he, him. I am the chair of the LGBTQ Advisory Board of Westchester County. So happy to have you here. Thank you so much to our incredible county executive, George Latimer, as well as legislator Pierce for being here. We also have a number of wonderful other elected officials that the county executive will recognize a little later. So we want to wish everyone a happy Pride. My co-host and fellow Westchester County LGBTQ Advisory Board member, Sam Gomez, and I are so proud to kick off today's 2023 Pride festivities.
Buenos dias. Thanks, Chris. I am Sam Gomez, and my pronouns are he, him, and él. I am the Director of Diversity and Inclusion for the City of New Rochelle, as well as the LGBTQ Community Liaison. Today's program will feature the second annual County LGBTQ Plus Leadership Awards. This year, those awards will be given to the libraries who have really stood out in promoting education about LGBTQ plus issues and standing up against attempts to ban books.
Absolutely. We are so proud to have these advocates here and these awardees for their courage and activism. And if you want to become more active in the LGBTQ plus community, feel free to get in touch with us as the advisory board. We're going to have a table on Court Street. It's a way for you to engage yourself with the community. Our meetings are monthly and they're open to the public, so feel free to get in touch and talk to any one of us with a rainbow sash to talk about how you can get more active within the LGBT community with the advisory board. We really do make sure that every voice is heard.
We do a lot of fun things too, like help plan events like this flag raising ceremony, right, Chris?
Absolutely. So thank you very much.
In this morning's brief program, we will hear remarks from our elected official and honored guests present the second annual Westchester County LGBTQ Plus Leadership Awards, receive an important call to action from another member of the county's LGBTQ Advisory Board, and raise the Progress Pride flag over the county. But first, let's recite the Pledge of Allegiance. To lead us will be Westchester County LGBTQ Advisory Board member, Daniel Charles.
Thank you. Good morning. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Now I'd like to call upon one of the LGBTQ plus community's closest friends and strongest advocates, County Executive George Latimer, to make remarks and introduce some of the elected officials who are with us this morning. County Executive Latimer.
Thank you, friends, and happy Pride Day. Feels like the 1st of April instead of the 1st or the 4th of June, but my first task is the one that I'm usually tasked with, and I'm very happy to do that, and that is to introduce other important elected officials. And I think it's important to note that the people who are here today in their jurisdictions are leaders in the community to welcome the LGBTQAI plus community, as well as all people of all different diversities. And so I'm not just gonna run through a list. I want you to appreciate who they are and what they've accomplished in their own areas of government. First of all, from the Westchester County Board of Legislators, there isn't anything that we have done in this county government that isn't one part the executive branch and equal part the Westchester County Board of Legislators. So let's welcome, you're going to hear from her in a few minutes, Erica Lang-Pierce from Bedford. We have with us Colin Smith from Peekskill. Jewel Williams-Johnson from Greenberg. And Catherine Parker from Rye and the Sound Shore. And I'm scanning the crowd to see if any of the other 13 members show up before I stop listing all of them. We have tremendous leadership at the state level of government. First of all, Andrea Stewart-Cousins, our Senate Majority Leader, wishes she could be here today. She texted me this morning. She's doing something of the highest importance. She's helping to close out the legislative session in Albany. So that's why Andrea has become Westchester's great pride across the board, and she could not be with us today, although she's here in spirit. But of course, her colleague in the New York State Senate, my senator, my friend, Shelley Mayer. And Shelley and Pete Harcum and Natalia Fernandez and Jamal Bailey, along with Andrea, have done a fabulous job in the New York State Senate, charting a tremendous course in this area. Shelley, thank you, and share that with your colleagues, if you would. Of equal importance and value are the members of the New York State Assembly. We're joined here by Chris Burdick, who lives in Bedford and represents the Northeastern corner of the county as a state assemblyman. That was for you, Chris. And we also want to thank all of the members of the delegation: Gary Pretlow, Amy Paulin, Steve Otis, don't miss one, George, Dana Levenberg, Mary Jane Shimsky, and Nader Sage. Did I get them all? Our 7 members who are active in this area. We have many local elected officials who are here today. The mayor of the village of Pelham, Chance Mullen, is with us. Town councilwoman from Lewisboro, Mary Shaw. Town councilwoman from Greenberg, Ellen Hendricks. City council, common councilwoman from White Plains, Vicki Presser. Councilman of the city of Peekskill, Brian Fassett. Town councilwoman, I was with her yesterday in the Bedford flag raising, Bobby Bitker. We have with us from my home community, Lori Fontanis from the city of Rye. And we have with us, in her own right, a political leader, but also the wife of the mayor of the village of Croton-on-Hudson, Emiliana Ulaj. We're joined today by New York State Supreme Court Justice Charlie Wood. We also have with us some of the key people in our county administration, the executive branch, and these are people that have helped us craft the policies that have led us to use pronouns, that has led us to develop a 140-unit affordable housing complex that will be LGBTQAI plus friendly 1 block from here, that helped us formulate and codify the LGBTQ Advisory Board, the Deputy County Executive of Westchester County, Ken Jenkins, Executive Director of our County Human Rights Commission, on the forefront of human rights in every possible way, Tejas Sanchala, our Director of Intergovernmental Services, who wears many hats, including our administration's liaison to the LGBTQAI plus Advisory Board, Steve Bass. She gets 2 introductions because she's got 2 hats. Director of Research, Ellen Hendricks. Our Director of Program and Policy, Aviva Meyer. And all of them working on a Sunday, our Communications Department, Catherine Chaffee, Joe Scamato, John Borst, whoever else is here. I'm paying them double time today, and they're worth it. They're worth it. Just a few comments, and there's going to be so many more speakers who can speak with so much more personal experience and substance on this issue. But as I said yesterday in Bedford, so I apologize to my friends who were with me yesterday in Bedford, I am part, personally, of every majority category that you can think of. I am a white, male, Christian, old, right-handed, straight example of what has been the power structure of this country since the Revolution, except for one thing. I believe that the future of Westchester County, and you could extend this at larger levels, the future of this county is in our diversity. We cannot be a monochromatic society and succeed. And that succeed is not only the moral basis for our success, but the economic basis for our success. That the people that consume the products and the services and the people that produce the products and services come in every form of demographic that you can think of. I may be old, but there are all sorts of ages down to young. I may be straight, but they're all parts of the LGBTQ community. I may be white, but they are also black. They are also Hispanic. They are also Asian. They are also Arab American. I might be Christian, but they may be Jewish. They may be Muslim or Hindu or Buddhist or no particular religion at all. Whatever that is, that's the rising tide. It's the rising tide of diversity and common experience together that leads us. Right now in this country, there are two paths, and you see it clearly. You can see a TV station committed to one path, another TV station gives you the alternate path. And those paths are either the path of disunity, anger, opposition to each other as brothers and sisters, segmenting some of us as the others while the rest of us become the we. That's one path. We've seen that path play out in many nations around the world. It played out in Nazi Germany and fascist Italy. We saw how that worked out. It worked that way in militaristic Japan, and it's failing to this day in Russia and in some of the other countries that embrace that path. The other path is the path that's been tried the least by most nations on the earth, but that has to be the path of America's future, the path of unity, where we are all brothers and sisters, no matter what is the color of our skin, what is our age, what is our religion, who do we love. All of those things are less important than the fact that we share common humanity, and it is that common humanity that will deal with climate change and deal with racism. That's how we get ahead. That's how Westchester has gotten ahead, and that's how we get ahead as a people. Let me close by saying, and letting speakers who will speak much more from their personal experience and from the heart. I graduated high school in 1970. It's a long time ago. And when I was in my junior year, getting ready for my senior year, I had what I think is about the most impactful summer that has happened in recent American history. The summer of 1969, a guy named Bryan Adams did a song about it in 1985. In that summer, man landed on the moon. In that summer was the concert at Woodstock. In that summer was the Mets, who were the worst team in baseball forever, having a miracle and going on to winning a World Series. That summer was also the summer of Chappaquiddick. It was also the summer of the Tate LaBianca murders. And that summer, in June, was the summer of Stonewall. What happened on Man on the Moon was an historic act. But what happened at Stonewall was a historic act as well. And what has happened since then, through decades of alienation that moved to greater acceptance, when we did the Human Rights Commission 20-some-odd years ago, Andrea Stewart Cousins and Lois Bronze of blessed memory and myself were at the beginning of the Human Rights Commission. And the controversy for the Human Rights Commission was because we dealt with the issue of sexual orientation for the first time and codified it. The state legislature went on to create marriage equality. And we still have the attack from some elements of the society against those things. Which tells you what? The battle is never over. The battle in 1969 has morphed into a different phase in 2023. And the battle will go on longer than we are going to be in the arena or we are going to be on the planet. So let us commit, side by side, as brothers and sisters, to continue this effort to do exactly what Martin Luther King said. It was to judge each other, not by the color of our skin or any other externality, but to judge people by the content of their character. If we do that, then we will be the America that we said we were in the Declaration of the Constitution. God bless you all on Pride Day.
Next up to speak, we have Legislator Pierce.
So I've been told that one way to warm up is by yelling. So let us greet Pride here with a Westchester welcome. Everybody, warm up with your lungs. Good morning and happy Pride, one and all. I am Erica Pierce. I'm the legislator for the 2nd District in Westchester County, which is by far the biggest district. We are Bedford, Lewisboro, Pound Ridge, North Salem, Somers, and Mount Kisco, and I am just so proud of my district. Just a brief shout out. I mean, our district hosted one of the first Pride flag raisings. We hosted one of the first Pride drag queen story hours. We host every year now Pride in the Park, which is a phenomenal experience where I made this incredible pronoun pin. And I have to say that it is not always easy up in our area, especially for our kids growing up as gay in our communities. And so these events, they mean so much. Events like today mean so much. They mean life, they mean future, they mean the ability to breathe and be yourself. So I am so happy to be here. A huge thank you to the Loft. We are so much better for having the Loft here in our midst. I am the advisor from the Board of Legislators to the LGBTQ Advisory Board. I want to say a huge thank you to all those who serve on that important board. They take on programming like this event, all the Pride events over the county. You're going to see them at tables. They are really mindful and watching over the things that happen in this county to make certain that we are continuing to move forward. So please, thank you for our advisory board. In the last week, I attended a lot of Memorial Day events, as is often the process for elected officials, and it means that I have spent a lot of time contemplating flags. When we think about flags, they can be used in a lot of different ways. They can be used aggressively to keep people away, to demark lines that are often representative of ideas that not all of us want to be attached to, but they can also be used sometimes, like on a beach, to demark lines of safety, encouraging people to stay in a safer place, to be together. They can be used to bring people together like they are right now. That phrase, rally around the flag, sometimes negative connotations, but today, of all days, it is the best of connotations. And they can be imbued with tremendous significance in times of strife. We sang that song over Memorial Day, for those of us who went to many events several times, the pride and importance that our flag was still there. And today we gather together to mark the beginning of Pride Month and to raise a flag which has all the best of those good connotations. That mark of safety of the flags on our beaches, that mark of community and denotation of values that a national flag can project, and yes, that importance of a flag's ability to stand, proudly waving in a time of strife. As members of the LGBTQ+ community here in the States see simultaneously the possibility of wonderful horizons, but also experience the daily impacts of increasing attacks and hatred. Here in Westchester, we join together to proudly raise the flag to honor and celebrate everyone in our diverse LGBTQ+ community. We raise the flag as a symbol of our efforts, our continuing and never-ending efforts to make this community, our community, a safe and welcoming place. As we raise this flag alongside our national flag, we do so because as a nation, we are better off for the rainbows in our midst. They are not separate to who we are or separate to who we were. They are an important part of who we have always been and will continue to be. We have such a wonderful program ahead of us today. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you again for the Loft, for everything you do every day in our community to help our LGBTQ+ members live proudly, happily, and safely. Have a great day today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I also want to recognize Tim Iodoni, who is here as the Westchester County Clerk. Thank you very much for being here. Very much appreciate it. Next up on our agenda, we have the awarding of the LGBTQ+ Leadership Awards to our incredible county libraries. I'm going to ask George to do the pleasure of providing the awardees. George?
Those libraries that have been awarded in this category, that have stepped forward, are the ones that we want to recognize today. But I think we want to thank all the libraries for taking their role and part in trying to help us with our education. We have framed certificates for each of them that shows that this is a sign of LGBTQ plus leadership. So I assume we have representatives from the following libraries who will accept these. From Lewisboro, the Lewisboro Public Library. They're going to say something? No. All right. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're off the hook, Jennifer. But stick around for the picture. You can be assured that there's going to be a lot of photographs. The New Rochelle Public Library.
I will say something, actually, George.
Okay, please.
Hi, everybody. My name is Whitney Barrett. I'm the president of the New Rochelle Public Library. I don't have a big speech. I just want to say it's such an honor to be up here, and especially representing an anchor institution, our library. Our libraries across the board, symbolize acceptance, symbolize knowledge, symbolize diversity, and it's just so critical and such an honor that we get to be up here and are recognized for doing really what's right. And thank you so much. This is incredible. Thank you. And my incredible assistant director, Elizabeth Joseph, we're so happy that she's here now, too.
The third honoree is the Field Library of Peekskill.
Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Latimer. We really appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, there were 123 bills in this legislative session in 28 different states attacking teachers and librarians, criminalizing librarians for providing LGBTQ materials. That is why this honor means so much to me, because here in Westchester, we are sending a message that libraries will stand for intellectual freedom, and we will provide materials to all of our constituents, whether we face, thank you. I'd like to take a moment to thank my library board, the members of the Common Council that are in attendance today, and Peekskill Pride, who donated to our library so that we could expand our LGBTQ collection when our books were stolen off the shelves because they had LGBTQ themes. Thank you.
And before we recognize the fourth library, let me just mention that we've been subsequently joined by Liz Feldman, who's the town supervisor of Ossining. And of course, all the way through has been the wonderful Judy Troilo from Loft. And they have a program coming up in a minute. Thank you for your leadership, Judy. And the fourth library that we're recognizing is in iShot, the great White Plains Public Library. Brian, you want to share any thoughts?
Hi, everyone. I'll keep this really brief. As a longtime public librarian, I never thought I would witness what is happening in libraries today. Library workers across the country are being harassed and losing their jobs. Books are being censored, and young people can't read the books that they desperately need. We are enormously fortunate to be carrying on our job and work here in Westchester. As opposed to losing my job, I'm being honored for it today, along with my colleagues. So I'd like to thank my wonderful colleagues that made these programs possible, all of the Library Board of Trustees and the Library Foundation, both of whom support it. And thank you, community of Westchester. Thank you.
Let's have you speak. I said you couldn't. No, I want you to speak because everyone else spoke, so I apologize.
Thank you. On behalf of the small but mighty Lewisboro Library, I want to thank everyone for their dedication and commitment to LGBTQIA. And I also want to highlight the importance of our librarians because truly this honor would not be ours if it wasn't for the dedication of our librarians at Lewisboro and across the nation. So thank you so much, and happy Pride. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you believe in America, you believe in free speech, free thought, then you believe in libraries. Thank you. I've been handed one more presentation, but for this one, I want Ken Jenkins, the members of the Board of Legislators, to hurry up here with me. Erica, stand over here, because this is a joint presentation on behalf of the two branches of government. And Tim Idoni, you're part of the Reds. Come on up, hurry up, get up here. This is all of us. And what the heck? Chris, Shelley, get up here too. Why not? We're inclusive. Let's stand on this side, all on this side, because we're going to give it to this person. We have had the benefit in our LGBTQAI plus advisory board to have the leadership of Chris Oldie over an extended period of time. This board would not have functioned. This board would not have functioned the way it did without his leadership. And on behalf of a grateful county and state government, Chris, thank you for your service. We know you're moving onward and upward, but we love you, and we appreciate everything you've done, my friend.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone here. I will be brief because there's a lot that's going to be happening, and we're a little behind schedule, and I want to make sure that we have a great time. Westchester is my home, will always be my home. I may be moving away, but I am always going to be back here. What I've learned here as an advocate, as an attorney, as an open, proud gay person, I take with me to everything that I do, and I will always come back here. So thank you very much to everyone. This means so, so much to me. Thank you.
And what are we without one more introduction? Andre Castillo, Town Board member, Bedford, is with us as well. Andres, thank you.
Now I'd like to ask Westchester County Advisory Board member and someone I'd like to call a friend, Robin S., to give out today's call to action.
Good morning and happy Pride. As much as we want today, this month, and our lives to be about celebration, it is time to recognize that the daily attacks on the freedoms that this month represents have already eroded the rights of trans and intersex people everywhere. 2 years ago, I stood before you at Playland and told you about a life that was nearly lost to substance abuse, eating disorders, and self-destruction because of a society that refused to accept differences. Differences in sexual development, identity, expression, and sexual orientation. And I shared with you how thankful I was that things had changed and that today's youth did not have to face the pain, marginalization, and even psychiatric hospitalization that I did, that they could be themselves and thrive. Unfortunately, I spoke a bit too soon. I underestimated the will, the resources, and the evil intentions of those who want to destroy the trans, intersex, and entire LGBTQ+ community. Today, I direct a program called Center Lane for LGBTQ Youth. And I sit on the board of the Loft LGBTQ+ Community Center. Now, where would Westchester be without these amazing organizations? Join with us and join with the Westchester County LGBTQ Advisory Board, and please help us fight back. And I just want to ask you to do 3 very quick things. First, of course, protect and support our LGBTQIA+ youth. The second is to please, as our librarians have emphasized earlier, oppose the hundreds of state bills across the United States that are limiting the rights of trans, intersex, LGBTQIA+ people everywhere, and most notably our youth, to lead safe and productive lives. And third, only elect the elected officials like the ones you see here today who support these established lawful objectives and who speak out openly on behalf of the LGBTQIA+ community. Let's give them all a wonderful hand for their support. Thank you all so, so much. So please speak up, act up, and be an agent of change for yourself and your community. Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. Thank you. Happy Pride.
Okay. Close out our program, we will be raising the Progress Pride flag. The Progress Pride flag flew over the county for the first time in 2019 and has done so each June since then. Each of the colors on the flag represents a group in our diverse but united community. Together we work towards progress in advancing the rights of everyone.
Last year, the Progress Pride flag returned to fly over downtown White Plains after a year at Rye Playland. It is really special to have it fly over our county, something that many places cannot claim.
So let's raise that flag. Come on, catch it, catch it. Yeah, there we go. On behalf of the entire LGBTQ plus advisory board, some of whom are here this morning, I just want to give a shout out to Bruno V. We got a shout out to Joanne Principali. We got Rachel Simons. We got Michael Sabatino, who's also here on behalf of Mayor Spano in Yonkers. Jim Stenerson. We got up here, we got my colleagues who've been speaking. So thank you very much. The event is about to start. You see it, hear it, you hear it. Let's do it. Happy Pride to everyone. Enjoy yourselves. We love you. We love Westchester. Thank you so much to everyone.
Gracias.